Hi, my name is Grace. I'm a deaf person. I'm a deaf mother. I have 2 deaf children and my partner, Dale. Sign language is at risk of dying out because the influence of cochlear implants and hearing aids. Deaf youth feel like they're the odd ones out, like I did, and they're hiding the deafness. I took a lot of time to accept that this was who I am, that I'm not going to change, that the world has to get used to me. My life is busy. From the minute I wake up, I'm always doing things until I go to sleep. I work full-time at Covey Technologies. Also, I'm a mum of 2 young children, so that's a full-time as well. My oldest girl, Ruby, she's 6, nearly 7. And my youngest boy, Charlie, he'll be 5 in August. Charlie is full of energy and he's a wild boy. Ruby, she's quite cruisy, easygoing. She goes with the flow. She can be bossy, but I like to say she's determined. My partner, Dale, is a coder. Coder means a child of a deaf adult. He has deaf parents. He is hearing, but his first language is sign language, and he fully understands my deaf culture.
I'm quite lucky to be a part of their world, and I'm sure they kind of like me at least a little bit. So I grew up with 2 deaf parents. They taught me sign language before I learned English, and so they're a really big inspiration for me.
I had my mum and my dad. They are both hearing. They've been amazing. When I was born and was diagnosed as deaf, they jumped in the deep end into the deaf world, and they provided me with every opportunity that they could from an early age. They've been amazing.
Good morning. What? Hi, darling.
Perfect for me.
Oh, nice.
See?
Nice.
That was for the international.
Grace was quite aware of her environments. So at Plunkett, the way they tested whether the child was hearing back when we are going back a few years,
30 odd years.
yeah, was to wave and say bye-bye. And of course, Grace saw the waves, so she would wave. And according to that, that's hearing profile perfect. Yeah, I know. We've come a long way. At a year, she was diagnosed as profound, so we were just immersed into the system. Now, do we want to toast them? Toast them? You can eat that, darling. These ones
are chocolate.
These ones are chocolate. These ones are fruit.
You drop them to another world, and you have to take on instantly a whole new way of life.
And we stay inside and get the moment.
Well, we had to go to sign language classes, because we had to back up what was happening at preschool in the home.
Oh, there's only one.
That level of access that I got early on allowed me to have language, which allowed me to have learning, which then allowed me to have ITT. So those are all connected. Without sign language, I wouldn't be who I am today.
Oh, I'll just get those buns out of the oven. Right.
Do you reckon that's ready?
I think that's ready. That's it. I mean, I can remember her first sign. I think it was only a couple of days in that we'd learnt. And I'd learnt the cat was going past. She's sitting in a high chair and I'd learnt cat. Okay, it's changed now, it's different, but back then it was cat. And I just pointed at the cat, went cat, and she looked at the cat and went cat. And that was the start. And after that, she soon learnt biscuit.
And
We're all good.
and you're
And this is the night before her
Pre-op, yeah.
operation.
It was my parents' decision to have me implanted. When I was 5, I had surgery in my hip and I was switched on a few months after that. The implant affected me again because without sign language I wouldn't be who I am, but without my cochlear implant I wouldn't be who I am now. The cochlea is a spinal little organ just behind the ear, and in that spinal organ there's that little teeny tiny hair, and that picks up sound and transmits it to the brain. I don't have any of that here. So there's a little microphone that picks up all the sounds, and then those sounds get transmitted into the sound processor, which is just this bit here, and it vibrates and it stimulates the auditory nerve. And in turn, the auditory nerve sends the electrical signals to the brain, and the brain picks up those signals and convert it into the sound. And that's how I can hear. So since I got my cochlear implant when I was 5, I had been through multiple different models of cochlear implants, external device. When I was younger, it was quite rough, you know, obviously being completely new to sound after 5 years of profoundly deafness. It took me a while. That my mum told me that every time the toilet flushed, I cried because I had no idea what that sounded like. Or if we're in traffic and we drive past some roadworks and people using jackhammers, I cry because that's just, I think it was over-stimulation.
So when you were probably that age, if you were being told off, if you'd done something naughty and you knew you'd done something naughty, you would had hearing aids, you would pull your hearing aids off and you would hide them, and you never knew that they squealed, and they used to make this high-pitched noise. I could always find them in the sandpit, every places like that.
For some of the deaf community, some deaf people don't agree with implants. There's an underlying contempt towards people that have implants or that choose to speak or to use oral language. But that shouldn't be a problem at all, because it's up to everybody to choose their own journey. If you want to have hearing aids, good for you. If you want to be profoundly deaf, good for you. If you want to have a cochlear implant, good for you. It's everyone's choice. They're unique and they deserve to decide themselves without being judged.
Play with,
You play with
you
that.
play with that and I'll play with this.
Once the kids are up, it's full sign language with them. And Grace and I will talk to one another using spoken language. With that being said, we tend to code switch quite a lot.
Can you take them with you?
Good luck.
I made the decision to implant my children. It was a difficult decision. But the way I see it, I'm actually opening up the range of opportunities. I'm not saying that they will have barriers because they are deaf, but I know that the deaf world is small. There are going to be a lot of barriers for them. In my view, by implanting them, it's not removing all the barriers they may face, but it's removing some. And it's giving them an opportunity to make their own decision about when they want to hear and when they want to talk.
Ata Maria, Kiwis. Beautiful. All right, let's jump into the role, shall we? Tua ke hanatia, Tulake Mahatia, Naiwi, Yorara. Beautiful Kiwis, keep it up. This is Fruitvale School. All right. I'm trying to set up a classroom in English and New Zealand Sign Language. A bilingual classroom is something that I've really wanted to set up for quite a long time now. F2 and spread out in the classroom, please. Well done. And it's been a challenging start to get it off the ground, but I'm committed to making this work. The big challenge for Ruby coming into the space was she was the deaf child. Red light means? No one else in the class at the time was able to communicate with her in sign language. And that's a very common experience for mainstreamed deaf children. Yeah. They come into a hearing space and then get lost or left behind. Hey, and bring yourselves to the mat. That was definitely a big hurdle for Ruby to overcome. Can I please have...
Charlie and I have filming. Charlie and I are lucky, yes.
Nice. Can we give Ruby a big sign of Paki Paki, please? Beautiful. A deaf child coming into this environment gains a lot. Awesome. They've got the ability to be a part of a wider whānau. She definitely has the skills now to adapt and learn and interact with people. And she's got such an affable personality. People just want to be her friend.
My family and I go to the farm. The farm has horses. Nice.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Benji. Can we give Benji a big sign of Paki Paki, please? Beautiful. The fact that students in the class want to learn her language, make the effort to learn the way that she communicates, is a reflection of how she inspires other children around her. And I think that's a really big thing to remember, that every child should be encouraged to succeed, regardless of their ability to hear or not. And I want to be the one to provide that for them.
Morning, guys. Morning. I work full-time at Kara Technologies. They create signing digital humans to provide access to information for the deaf community.
At Cora, what we do is we translating content information into sign language. And instead of using human, we're using digital human, and we use AI.
I was working for Kelston Deaf Education Centre, and I was creating educational resources, and I was working on translation. Arash came in and said, I'm keen to have this book translated. Could one of you try wearing this motion capture suit? So I went in and put on the motion capture suit, and I really enjoyed myself.
Let me look at you for a minute. Good to go. Feel good?
Feels good. All right, let's smash it out on the cross. When you sign, the white balls on the suit create data points to be processed by the program, overlaying that data onto the skeleton of the digital avatar. Sign language is not 100% wearing your hands, but there's so much detail being paid to how the hands are being signed. Every time I do a sign, I try my very best to sign it in a very particular way that is clear and accurate. We have a source video that I had created beforehand, which reminds me of what signs that needs to be mocap. So I'm watching the video and I'm signing away to it to make sure that all the signs that's being captured is perfectly accurate.
As a hearing person, my initial thought was it's just hand movement. So we were like, okay, if we could make the hand movement right, we technically provide the translation. And that was really, really wrong. And there are other nuances which are as important. Like facial expression in sign language, it's so crucial.
Yeah. When you're using a sign, you can also empathize how big or small that sign is. So if we're talking about a tree, so the tree is skinny.
Yeah.
So that automatically goes in like you're skinny, or if you go, that tree is fat, you go.
Yeah.
So it's just really pushes the meaning behind the sign in the word, and it just makes it so much more understandable for the deaf community. The other thing is, if we're talking about emergencies, you don't want to look happy when you're saying, there's a fire coming. There's a fire, run. So you're gonna not panic. So much for some reason.
That's okay. Perfect.
Cool. Did you need anything else?
No, I think that's it for today.
Let me know if there's anything else.
Yeah, no problem.
So our French is quite busy, and my favourite thing about my French, the art, is actually this one here, because it's an international sign for I love you. So basically, Charlie made it for me on Valentine's Day, and if you actually look at the shape, the American sign for I is I, L is L, and Y is Y. So when you put them together, you got I, L, Y. So it becomes I love you. And it's just a sign that we use often to let each other know how much we love each other. Ruby and I just finished some filming for a TV show called Kids of Curio Lane, and it's so exciting because this is a TV show that showcased deaf children and hearing children just interacting just like it's normal and there's no barriers, using sign language. It's been so exciting because I think Ruby can see that this TV show is a reflection of her life.
Oh, all right.
I always had to watch my children. It's different to raising hearing children. So if we're on the road, for example, if we're going for a walk, I can't call out, oi, come back. I had to run, and I had to get in front of them and grab them. If it's dangerous, you can't yell to get their attention from behind. You need to be there with them physically. I had to get down to their level. I had to make sure I had eye contact. I had to make sure they're actually looking. If they're not looking at me, the communication's over. So now I had to wait until I had eye contact, and then I can communicate with them.
Being involved in a deaf family has never scared me. In fact, if anything, I sort of embraced it. The fact that I grew up in a deaf family meant I already knew all the quirks and all the uniqueness that comes from being involved in a deaf family.
So the unique thing about Dale is that he can communicate with my children. He makes them feel validated. He makes them feel empowered. He makes them feel normal. They don't have to adjust to communicate with him. They just their natural selves. They sign. He embraces our family life.
Communication is such an important part of our whānau because it's everything. If somebody's being left out, then we need to do a better job of making sure they're included.
Folks, I will get a small flat white, double shot with one sugar in it, please. Guy, get the 2 small cakes. Thank you. So when I had to discipline my children, there's no difference between my parenting and parents of hearing children, but it's how I communicate with them. They had tricks to avoid conversation. They will run away. They'll go to a room, they'll shut their eyes, and that's the time that I had to wait. My children now realise that they can't get away with doing that. I will remember to address the problem when they finally look at me. So if they shut their eyes and refuse to look at me, I give them time out until they're ready. When they open their eyes, we go back to the same topic and I'll say, you shouldn't do this or that or whatever it was. Are you ready for tonight?
Hello, of course I'm ready.
Tonight's gonna be fun. We've got a whole bunch of Ruby's friends coming over tonight.
It sounds like fun.
It does.
I can't wait. I've got my running shoes on.
Hello! Hello! Straight into it.
Hi,
So tonight we had quite a few of Ruby's school friends coming over for a screening of Kitsukuyo 9. They're all in there, they're happy, eating pizza, drinking juice and having some nonnies. Constantly watching episode after episode. The reason why this is so important is it's just so good to showcase a New Zealand Sign Language deep culture TV program and to actually access entertainment in general in their own sign language. So this is amazing for my kids to be able to access TV shows in their own language because I didn't have that growing up. Deafness is an invisible disability, and the only difference between us and the hearing people is language, and that's all it is. It gives me hope because now I can actually see Ruby and Charlie growing up to be equals in the world. There shouldn't be barriers for the deaf community because we as deaf people, we can do anything that hearing people do except for hear. That's it. We can have jobs, doctors, we can have jobs at lawyers, truck drivers, whatever we want. It's the fact that we have a different language and different culture. You know, we got a bunch of Ruby school friends in there, all signing away, they're all on the same page. You know, this makes me really proud.